Good evening and many thanks for joining us. You're watching QTV Nightly News coming to you from our studios on Caraba Avenue with me, Ansmana Isonyase. Here are the main news headlines. Mohammed Ibrahim, the head of the ECHAS evaluation mission, has expressed satisfaction with the ongoing support and implementation efforts for 2022 flood victims in the Gambia. The International Organization for Migration, the Gambia, in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade, Friday awarded Cinema Arena grants to 25 entrepreneurs. Officials from the Gambia Tourism Board commenced a 3-day domestic tourism campaign on Friday, which includes enlisting social media influencers to promote and encourage domestic tourism. And in sports news, the coach of the Gambia's under-20 football team says his players are in good shape as they prepare for September's West African Football Union WAFU A under-20 tournament in Liberia. And in international news, as the virus crosses international borders, the World Health Organization on Wednesday declared the Mpox outbreak as public health emergency of international concern. Well, stay tuned for more on these and other stories. And now we'll take a look at the news in detail. Mohammed Ibrahim, the head of the ECHAS evaluation mission, expressed satisfaction with the ongoing support and implementation efforts for 2022 flood victims in the Gambia, supported by ECHAS. Alusise reports.
The delegation from Abuja arrived in the country last Sunday for a week-long field validation monitoring and evaluation of humanitarian relief provided by ECHAS for food crisis and flood disaster victims in the Gambia. During the mission, the delegation met stakeholders, implementing partners and beneficiaries to gather first-hand information about the impact on them of the support, identify gaps, and to assess areas for improvement. Mohammed Ibrahim, head of the ECHAS mission, shared this impression with the media at the end of the mission on Thursday.
I want to say that we are very proud that the implementing partners for this project have been carefully and systematically selected, because based on their track record, our assessment is above average. We are very satisfied with what we saw on ground.
The two implementing partners, the National Nutrition Agency and Catholic Relief Services, received funds to support affected households through cash transfers and provision of other basic needs. Here are Malang Fofana, the Executive Director of the National Nutrition Agency, and Dr. Abdullah Toure, Country Director of Catholic Relief Services, respectively.
If you look at our assessment, 97.9% of the beneficiaries say they spend the entire amount of money that was given to them, because it came at a time when the need was very much on them. So they used the entire fund. Not only 98% used the entire fund. Of those people who used their entire fund, 65% of them have spent them on food. Only on food. They only used more fund on food. And 81% of them are said they are satisfied with the distance that they take to access the fund. Among them, 98% said they are satisfied with the entire process.
In CRS, we have a system called the monitoring, evaluation, learning, and accountability. So we do nothing without the participatory approach, and we are very grateful that ECHAS has provided a comprehensive report or feedback through the communities that they have engaged with, and it's a learning process to improve and of course to adjust to the needs of the people that we serve.
Sana Dahaba, the Executive Director of the National Disaster Management Agency, says that aside from the support from ECHAS, other development partners extended support to the 2022 flood victims.
2021 alone, government spent $41 million to support the victims. And 2022, CRS, World Food Program, Caritas, and other partners also support. So this support that we are actually implementing now is an external support from ECHAS.
The floods of 2022 were among the worst recorded in the Gambia for several decades. In August 2022, data verification done by the Gambia Red Cross Society showed more than approximately 2,600 households, amounting for 29,381 people, were affected with damage to their shelters, food stocks, and latrines. The mission's primary objective is to ensure the effectiveness, transparency and accountability of the humanitarian aid distributed to the affected communities. ECHAS allocated a total of $10.16 million for humanitarian relief efforts across its member states, with $1.76 million specifically designated for the Gambia. These funds are to address the needs of victims affected by food crisis and flood disasters in 2022. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cisse.
Now, the International Organization for Migration, the Gambia, in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade, Industry, Regional Integration and Employment, Friday awarded Cinema Arena grants to 25 entrepreneurs. Usman Jata attended the event and he filed in this report.
Public screenings in the community, we are going to play films that talk about the back way, what migrants do face during this irregular journey.
This project is within the framework of the Migration Fund program allocated by the Italian government. The overall objective is to contribute to supporting governments in countries of origin along the main routes from northern and western Africa, across the desert and the Mediterranean, to promote more informed migration and more effective support to promote socio-economic opportunities as part of the Italian government's strategy to address irregular migration and human trafficking. Specifically, the project seeks to raise awareness of socio-economic opportunities and promote empowerment as alternatives to irregular migration. Emmanuel Maruisi is the International Organization for Migration's Chief of Mission in the Gambia.
The vision for the project is that we support the communities to address the issues of irregular migration, or what's commonly known as the back way. The intervention is very much in line with the government's Green Recovery focused National Development Plan. It is also in line with the UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework.
Cinema Arena is a mobile cinema providing a set of outdoor events in rural and urban areas using films, documentaries and testimonies. The aim is to ensure outreach and to carry out educational and information campaigns in the most remote and disadvantaged areas about the risks of irregular migration while presenting alternatives. Basiru Seka, a member of the Employment Directorate at the Ministry of Trade, Regional Integration and Employment, represented the Trade Minister.
In the Gambia, we have that mentality that unless I wear a tie and a suit, I will not be considered as somebody who's working. And if you go to more developed countries now, the most rich people are not in the offices. They are up there in the farms. They are with the skills, they are with the TBEX, those are the self-employed people.
Over 400 applicants across the country applied for the grant, but only 25 were shortlisted. Targeted sectors of the grants include agribusiness, waste and environmental management. Dr. Mohammed Lamin Toure, a horticulturist and a medical doctor, is among the fortunate beneficiaries.
It's going to elevate my aspiration of becoming a full-time farmer in Gambia here. As someone who comes from a family of horticulturists, I've spent a whole lot of time in there to improve myself in the horticultural practice, and this grant will be able to help me to build capacity and to innovate and to contribute in the economic development of the Gambia.
Alaji Jajo, Executive Director of the National Youth Council, urged the beneficiaries to make good use of this opportunity.
We will need to cut a lot of cost. Persevere and work hard today. And you can marry tomorrow. And when you're marrying tomorrow, you marry without even looking back, because you know fully well that you have enough. But please don't marry on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday there's even no breakfast in your pocket.
The presentation ceremony also witnessed a musical performance sensitizing youth on the dangers of irregular migration. Osman Chata reporting for QTV News.
Now, officials from the Gambia Tourism Board on Friday commenced a 3-day domestic tourism campaign, which includes enlisting social media influencers to promote and boost the overall economy and allow citizens to experience and appreciate the country's cultural, historical and natural wonders. Loliam Kamara tells us more.
Domestic tourism refers to travel within one's own country for recreational, leisure or business purposes. It plays a crucial role in the economy of a country by contributing to the development of local businesses, creating job opportunities and promoting a sense of national pride and unity. Studies have shown that very little domestic tourism happens in the Gambia. The delegation made their first stop at Tanje, where kayaking takes place. Kayaking is the use of a kayak, a type of canoe for moving over water. It is distinguished from canoeing by sitting the position of the paddler and the number of blades on the paddle. Tida Job and Yusufa Jata, social media influencers, shared their experiences after a kayak ride.
I'm here because I'm with GTB to promote local tourism, and we are here to do kayaking, as part of, the experience you will have in Gambia when you come here as a tourist and if you are here as a local. So, Lolen Joge Def, and mashallah, I had a good time, experience, and I learned a lot of things. I learned that you shouldn't pedal on one side, you should go on both sides.
This is the second time. We do it last year, but for the kayaking, this is the first experience.
And how was it like?
It's memorable because at some point I even felt that, I'm going to fall down deep inside the sea. So, but it was nice. We enjoyed.
From kayaking at Tanje, the officials proceeded to jet skiing area, a popular recreational activity that offers a thrilling and enjoyable experience. Jet skiing involves riding across water on a vehicle with an engine on a machine which resembles a motorcycle. With beautiful beaches, vibrant culture, and diverse wildlife, the Gambia is a popular destination for both international and domestic tourists. At this seaside, hotels offer special discounts and packages for domestic travelers, making it more affordable for locals to visit popular tourist destinations within the country. Ala A. Hamid, area manager for Gambia Hotels, explained how he came up with the idea during the COVID-19 pandemic, and since then, special packages have been designed to promote domestic tourism. The Gambia Tourism Board has been promoting domestic tourism through various campaigns and initiatives, encouraging locals to explore their own country and support the local economy. Here is Mamo Swane, Senior Marketing and Communications Officer at the GT Board.
The beauty about doing this type of activities is when you do them, for example, over the weekend, remember you have a whole week, Monday to Friday, you work too hard, it's so exhausting, you are tired, so you need a break. And a break is to embark on tourism in your own country. Go to these places, enjoy these facilities, enjoy these attraction sites, listen to the guides, let them show you around. By the time you go back to work on Monday, you are re-energized, and that is the purpose of tourism.
Over the next 2 days, the domestic tourism campaign will continue to encourage citizens to experience and appreciate the beauty and culture of their own country. For QTV News, Loli M. Kamara.
And that interesting report there by Loli M. Kamara will lead us to the commercial break, but we will be right back.
Welcome to the future of transportation in the Gambia. The Bertel-Harding Highway, a 22-kilometer double carriageway, is set to revolutionize travel and connectivity in our beloved country. A 3-lane highway means more space for vehicles, smoother traffic flow, and reduced congestion. Each lane has a specific purpose. The leftmost lane for overtaking and faster vehicles, the middle lane for standard driving, and the rightmost lane for slower and turning vehicles.
Need a quick car service? ECHAS Motors has got you covered. From quick scans to oil changes and fuel filter replacements, we handle it all within an hour. Take advantage of our exclusive promotion with 35% off labor and 10% off service. ECHAS Motors is located at Bertel-Harding Highway, opposite Kotu Power Station. Book now. Call 353-4444, 352-2222, 385-6822. Hurry, offer ends September 7th. ECHAS Motors.
Well, thanks for staying with us, and if you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue with me and Smana Isonyasi. Now, women gardeners at Fonye Kasany Women's Garden have complained about the inadequate water supply and poor fencing at their village community vegetable garden. Julian Jai visited the garden and seen our reports.
According to these women gardeners in Kasany, in Fonye Bintang, this garden is their only source of income. Life is proving to be difficult for them, as they cannot grow vegetables in their garden due to a lack of proper fencing and inadequate water supply. Aissatou Toure, a gardener, says they used to grow lots of vegetables in this garden, enough to sell some of the produce and feed their families. We used
to get income from the garden, but now we don't get anything from it because the fencing is damaged and the only thing we can grow here is mint. We now buy food from Kombo at the Brikama market, which we never had to do previously.
Aminata Gassama, a gardener and vendor, also expressed similar sentiments.
Mint is difficult to cultivate. It takes 2 months to germinate, and once it is harvested, that's another challenge. The only market for us to sell our produce is at the Brikama market, and we encounter a lot of challenges like transportation to get there. Sometimes, even if you have $500 worth of goods, you can only sell $50 worth, and you have to use that money to buy breakfast and water. By the time we are done, even the return fare is a problem. We are tired of growing this mint plant and are calling on people to come to our aid.
Mariama Jame, also a gardener, makes an appeal to the authorities for help.
A lack of market is a big challenge for us. After all the hard work we do here, it ends up going to waste. We barely make sales in Brikama because of the population there. If we have a market here, we can harvest and sell all our produce here. I am calling on the government to help us with a market because we really want to work.
Kausu Koli, the councillor for Sibanor Ward, gave assurances that he will support these hard-working women.
Like now that they have a bad fence and the women of Kasany cannot do their gardening proper, so I'll try my best to search funds for them to how we can try to complete their fence so that they can do whatever they want to do, so that they can generate a lot of money from this garden. And I'll try my best. I'm doing, I did something for them. I brought something for them at the clinic. That I brought some medical equipment at the clinic here, which is very helpful. Beds, I brought beds, sponges, bandages, drip stands and other stuffs, so which is helping. And as at now, and in future, maybe there'll be a change. Even I alone cannot do it, but with the youth and the women of Kasany, collectively we can do something.
Vegetables such as spring onions, sweet pepper, lettuce, okra, tomatoes, amongst others, are grown in this garden. The women we engaged believe having a good water supply and a secure perimeter wall will protect their produce and help boost their production, productivity and income. For QTV News, I am Julian Yai.
And now on to international news in a moment. Now, the World Health Organization declared the Mpox outbreak a public health emergency of international concern on Wednesday as the virus crosses international borders. The announcement by WHO Director General Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus came after a meeting of the WHO's Emergency Committee. Julenjai again.
The declaration from the WHO Director General came on the advice of an International Health Regulation Emergency Committee of independent experts who met recently to review data presented by experts from WHO and affected countries. The highly contagious disease, formerly known as monkeypox, has killed more than 500 people, mostly in DRC, according to the Africa Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The disease has now spread across parts of Central and East Africa, and scientists are concerned about how fast a new variant of the disease is spreading and its high fatality rate. The Africa CDC, which also declared Mpox a health emergency this week, says the number of suspected Mpox cases across the continent has passed 17,000 this year, a significant increase from 7,146 cases in 2022 to 14,957 cases in 2023. At least 13 African countries are impacted, including those that had not previously reported Mpox cases until recently, such as Burundi, Kenya, Rwanda, and Uganda. So far in 2024, these countries have confirmed 2,863 cases and 517 deaths, primarily from the Democratic Republic of Congo. Africa's CDC Director General, Dr. Jean Kassia, underscored the gravity of the situation, stating that this is not just another challenge, it is a crisis that demands our collective action. Pakistan has confirmed at least one case of the Mpox virus, a day after Sweden confirmed an infection with a more easily spread and deadlier variant linked to a recent outbreak in Africa. Here is Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus declaring the virus as a public health emergency of international concern.
The detection and rapid spread of a new clade of Mpox in eastern DRC, its detection in neighboring countries that had not previously reported Mpox, and the potential for further spread within Africa and beyond is very worrying. In addition to other outbreaks of other clades of Mpox in other parts of Africa, it's clear that a coordinated international response is essential to stop these outbreaks and save lives.
Mpox, formerly known as monkeypox, is caused by a virus of the same name and was first discovered in monkeys used for research in 1958, according to WHO. Mpox was first detected in humans in 1970 in the DRC. The disease is considered endemic to countries in Central and West Africa. The WHO anticipates an immediate funding requirement for an initial $15 million to support surveillance, preparedness, and response activities. A needs assessment is being undertaken across the 3 levels of the organization. Here is Dr. Ghebreyesus again.
WHO is on the ground, working with the affected countries and others at risk through our country and regional offices, as well as with partners including the Africa CDC, NGOs, civil society, and more.
Common symptoms include skin rash, fever, headache, back pain, and lower energy, amongst others. The virus can be transmitted to humans through physical contact with an infectious person, contaminated materials, or infected animals. For QTV News, I am Julden Yai.
Well, time now for some sports news. Now, the coach of the Gambia's under-20 football team says his players are in good shape as they prepare ahead of the West African Football Union WAFU A under-20 tournament in Liberia in September. Our sports reporter Modi Kajaga spoke to him and he has the details.
The Gambia under-20 are stepping up their preparation for the WAFU Zone A under-20 competition in Liberia, scheduled to run from the 9th to the 15th of September. Head coach Abdoulaye Bojang says his team is in good shape as they prepare to battle it out with familiar opponents, Mauritania, Senegal, and Mali. The coach first has a daunting task of reducing his current squad of 34 players down to at least 22 for the tournament.
The preparation is in high gear. We finished with the screening process. Now we have 30 infield players and 4 goalkeepers. We started preparing for the WAFU competition, and definitely things are going fine.
The team recently played some friendlies, including taking on some club sides, and recorded an impressive 4-0 thrashing of Team Rhino, who finished 5th in the most recent GFF First Division League. Here is coach Abdoulaye Bojang.
The ones scoring the goals are the strikers. About 3 of them scored. Alaji Wali scored a hat-trick. Ibrahim scored 2 goals, which is positive. As I said, these are the things. These are the reasons why we try to play to know our level of preparedness. So along the way, also we'll have some local and international friendlies also. To keep working on our weaknesses. So by Monday, we'll start to work on the defensive part also, how to regroup, set them under pressure. We want to be very well organized before we get into the competition. So by next week, we'll start having local friendly games.
Despite having familiar and strong opponents in the group, Coach Bojang is optimistic about his team's chances, claiming they are no longer underdogs after winning the WAFU Zone A Under-20 Championship and finishing second in the CAF Under-20 competition.
Well, actually, I think it's a fair draw. The group is not easy, as I said. But football, the most important thing is our preparation. We need to be very well prepared. And in the previous years, the Gambia has been doing good. Gambia is no more an underdog when it comes to youth football. So if you find out that the group is tough, know that there are good teams in the group. That's why it becomes tough.
With his past experience in the competition, Coach Abdullah Bojang and his players are projected to reach the semi-finals by finishing among the top 2 teams in Group B. In Group A, host Liberia have been drawn against their neighbors Sierra Leone, Guinea-Bissau and Cape Verde. The champion and the runners-up will automatically qualify for the 2025 Under-20 AFCON. Mamadou Gajaga, QTV News.
And I'm afraid that's all we have time for. But before we take a leave of you, here's a recap of our main headlines. Mohamed Ibrahim, the head of the ECHAS evaluation mission, expressed satisfaction with the ongoing support and implementation efforts for 2022 flood victims in the Gambia. The International Organization for Migration, the Gambia, in collaboration with the Ministry of Trade, Friday awarded Cinema Arena grants to 25 entrepreneurs. Officials from the Gambia Tourism Board commenced a 3-day domestic tourism campaign on Friday, which includes enlisting social media influencers to promote and encourage domestic tourism. In sports news, the coach of the Gambia's Under-20 football team says his team are in good shape as they prepare for September's West African Football Union WAFU A Under-20 tournament in Liberia. And in international news, as the virus crosses international borders, the World Health Organization on Wednesday declared the Mpox outbreak a public health emergency of international concern. That's all we have for you in this bulletin. To join us tomorrow, same time for more news. Until then, thanks for watching.